Hello everybody, it is good to see you again. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Barbara and you're a barbarian because you are watching this video and you're part of our barbarian fam. So you know I love Fallout and I'm so excited for Fallout 76. So excited with a little bit of hesitation about the multiplayer aspect. This game is dropping in November and we are clamoring for any bit of information that we can get from Todd Howard and the people at Bethesda. Well, this past weekend, QuakeCon was hosted, and there was an entire hour-long Fallout 76 panel. It was a Q&A panel where people could just ask questions of Todd Howard, and he's going to give us the answers that we have been looking for, hopefully. Hopefully. I have not seen it yet. I know this is a little bit late, but I am going to watch it now with you. This is going to be a long video, so I recommend grab your popcorn. I promise this is some popcorn in a green bowl, per usual. Grab your water and hunker down, and let's watch this QuakeCon Fallout 76 panel and get all sorts of information, and we will react to it all together. Let's just hit that play button. Oh, yes. Coming in 2018. Now, okay, good. Okay, I'm not getting any sound. Is it playing sound? Am I supposed to hear anything? Oh. Headphones.
What's up, QuakeCon? Welcome to the Fallout 76 panel. You guys excited?
I'm excited! I'm hyped! How about you? If you're excited, drop a comment right below that just says hype. That's
Welcome.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, ready to get started?
I am so ready.
I'm Gary Steinman. Oh, somebody loves you, Todd.
People are excited for Todd Howard. Everybody loves the Todd Howard if you're a Fallout fan.
We need a mask.
Yeah.
Mask picture. All right, hold on. All right.
Have they given everybody Fallout Vault Boy masks? I know they've done that at other events.
That's awesome.
I wonder what's on their coffee mugs.
I'm Gary Steinman.
See these
for the
three
next
coffee
hour,
mugs?
I'll be
Is this
chatting with the
hinting to
team from
anything?
Bethesda Game Studios, picking your brains about Fallout 76, getting the answers to lots of questions.
Getting our answers, that's all we care about.
From a lot of you guys in the community, the tough questions that they've been dying to hear answers for. But before we jump in, I'd love to play the official trailer for Fallout 76, the one we debuted at E3.
The one we've seen a million times.
Because honestly, I could watch that trailer again and again and again.
I could.
So why don't we all watch it together?
But we've seen it a million
right
times. Okay, fast forward through that because we have seen that trailer a million times. I've reacted to it a million times. You don't need to watch that again.
Experience, like a communal
Let's get into the
experience,
content.
people watching some of you sing along to the song.
Oh, that West Virginia song. How much did that get stuck in your head?
Yeah. Stuck in our
Definitely
heads
got stuck in
forever.
mine.
So let's get started. I'd like to introduce the team here, starting with Development Director Chris Meyer, who
I hear you clapping out there.
a local or extended local. You're right down the road in Austin.
Austin, Texas. I've been there since '95, so
Yeah.
it's a great city, Austin.
Austin, I've never been to.
Project
I really
leader
want to
Jeff
go. I've never
Butler.
been. I've only been to Houston. It's not that exciting. Not that exciting at all.
And of
Now,
course,
let's see how loud
game
the screams are for
director,
Todd.
Todd Howard.
Yep. As per usual, there's usually like a single figurehead who gets all the glory, even though so many people work on games. So many.
I'm Gary.
Gary.
Hi, Gary.
I promise tough questions, and they'll come, but let's start with an easy one, or what should be an easy one.
Hopefully.
Todd, what exactly is Fallout 76?
That's a good question. The short answer is, I think people know, Fallout 76 is an open-world RPG set in the Fallout universe that has a lot of systemic and survival qualities. And the big difference
Survival
with
qualities.
other games or games that we've done are that every character you see is a real human that is playing the game, and that creates some really
No NPCs.
exciting scenarios that we never
No
can
Raoul.
anticipate.
No best
you
friend
used,
Tabitha.
the word systemic.
Sadly.
And we've got Chris here,
Sadly.
who worked on one of the granddaddies of all systemic online games, Ultima Online. And
Oh,
now you're working
granddaddy.
on Fallout 76.
I never played Ultima
Tell
Online.
us about your journey to,
That was before my time.
To work on this game, but also your excitement, your experience, and what you're bringing to Fallout 76 in terms of that kind of systemic online game.
Ultima Online is the reason I'm in the industry. It was the first game I worked on and how I cut my teeth working on sandbox games with lots and lots of players. So it is a dream come true to sort of bring that experience to the Fallout universe, which is a beloved franchise for me personally.
And
I
what
played
do
a
you do?
bunch
So,
of
Jeff,
online
what do you
games.
do
I miss them.
hour to hour, minute to minute in the
MMOs?
game? I mean, people know what what a Fallout game is and what you do in a Fallout game. Is it similar here? Do you have quests? Do you have activities? What goes on?
You have quests, tons of
Give us some
systemic
nitty-gritty details.
activities. I mean, it's very similar to the Fallout you know and love. The major difference is obviously, as you've heard, it's online. And there's a lot of tension created with other characters. Are they friendly? Are they foes?
They're all
We really
foes.
dug into the survival elements,
Nuke
the
'em all!
crafting elements of the game, the workshop and camp elements. So we really hope it's really like a place that once you're in it, you're sucked in for hours. We find at work, like, we're just sucked, hours go by and we're like, oh my God, I got work to do.
That
We're
is
still playing
that
the
is my
game,
life
so
in
it's
Fallout.
wonderful. Yeah, it's great.
And I think it's, and people who come to the office and play it, at first they're like, this is the Fallout I know and love. So I think like 80% of it probably is the Fallout everyone is used to, and the other 20% is really different. And it's
I'll do
it's
80-20.
hard to explain.
I will take 80-20.
You know, this is the flow and how it feels, because at one point it's comfortable, and the other side it's all new.
Which
Okay,
brings
okay.
me to another
He's alleviating
variation
some
on that
concerns.
question.
This is good.
Is this the right game for Fallout fans?
Well, I think so, but I don't really know. There are so many types of Fallout fans, right? You see everybody here, and there's so many things in our games, and some people love just the exploration, the character building, the stories,
Nah.
the combat,
Nah.
crafting,
Nah.
and so it has all of those things. Obviously, the thing it doesn't have are NPCs that are going to be specific characters that tell you a story that we've written. We love those things. We understand a lot of our fans love those things.
Sometimes.
And this one replaces that with the other players. They are the interesting NPCs, and hopefully, in a lot of ways, more
still
interesting
don't know what that
than what we
means.
may create on our own. So that part's very different. I can't say it's, better or worse, but when you sit down and play it, it feels like a new Fallout game.
But there's no one type of Fallout. And we've talked about this around the office a little bit, too. There's no one type of Fallout fan, is there?
No, not at all. And if you look at the old games, you're coming from an isometric, more turn-based type thing to what today is a, it has more adventure elements
Charm.
in terms of exploring a world and what that means to feel like living in that world. And that's something that still is very important to us at the studio in terms of, for the time you're in it, it has to feel real, despite it being a video game and stuff like that. And that's what sucks you in when we play
Yep,
it.
that's
it's
just
reached the point in
exploring the
office
world,
where
seeing all the
really,
characters,
we don't want to stop playing it. It has a very
finding
slow
hidden
burn,
little nooks and crannies.
but you
That is
feel
what I
like,
love about
I
Fallout.
am this person in this world,
Yeah.
and learning how to survive and learning how to conquer it. It's very rewarding.
I don't know. You said
The
survive a
other
lot
big
there.
question I have is, why now?
How
why
Rust-like
now
is
the
this
right
gonna be?
time for an online Fallout?
Well, we figured we wouldn't do it till we had done 70 more versions of Fallout, so we went to 76. Figured we'd get to, I don't know, it's a good
Sure, you've
answer.
never said
for
that before.
We had talked early on. We had, talked with Chris, who was down in Austin, the team there. We had some ideas of what multiplayer could look like. We started that during Fallout 4, really on paper. And Chris and some of the other folks in Austin actually started right when we were starting to finish Fallout 4 in 2015 to see, how it could feel, what it could look like. And it kind of grew from there.
Yeah, it was great. It was taking a game that we love, Fallout 4, and then actually grabbing some network code from one of our sister studios, id. We're using the Quake 3 networking architecture, which is great.
That's
and
cool.
then bringing it
That
into
is
the
very
game.
cool.
And then this one is for you, Jeff.
I'd say Fallout
You've
4,
got-
not my
you've got
favorite.
a herd,
I like New
many
Vegas.
cats in your role. And now you've got these cats that are not just in Maryland, and not just in Montreal, and not just in Austin, but yesterday we announced that we have BGS Dallas as part of the family. So you've got a team spread across North America.
Great group.
How are you not pulling your hair out?
Well, I am pulling my hair out. But it's, you know, it's amazing. There's so many talented people across these teams with great leadership.
So many
and, you know, this has
people.
been a learning curve for me, too. It's my first online game. So without guys like Chris Mayer, who have done it for years, I'd really be lost at sea.
I would have no clue how to be a game
It's an amazing
producer.
experience to be able to go to Montreal
None.
and work with the folks who are doing all the graphics, and then back down to Austin, all these gameplay and network code experts. It's bringing this all together in a way that has been. It's been a 3-year project, right? So it's gone and gone and gone, and we've done this really quickly.
worked
We
for
iterate really
such long
fast,
times
and
on
everyone is
games.
really good about communicating, and we fall short here and there, but we all have what's best in mind for the game is always our #1 thing, not ego. So we always focus on that goal, and we're so excited to share it with all of you.
And for you, Chris, you recently joined, or relatively recently joined the BGS family. What's it like, the culture here, and how is your, how did you adapt to?
We don't care about this stuff.
BGS?
Give us
Once
the
I
game
got over
details.
the awe of
I'm sure these
actually
people are
being a
nice
part
and they
of
have
Bethesda
fantastic
Games,
backgrounds, but
franchise.
give us the
they make
details.
franchises that I've loved forever. Starting
Sorry,
with
I'm gonna
Morrowind.
let you finish, but I'm
after
just
that,
I'm just
adapting
micro
to their
ranting
culture.
over
They're a
here.
very iterative studio, which I like. I love.
I don't know if you noticed, I'm in a bit of a ranty mood lately. Nothing is going right
improvements
in the
every
world.
time we make a new build.
Hashtag
And
Comcast
it's a
fail, I
great
still don't have
culture,
internet.
A great thing to be a part of. I love working with all of these guys.
That's great. So, you brought some new stuff, Todd. And to be honest with everyone out here, I only saw this stuff maybe an hour ago, so it's still fresh to me too.
Dude, it's new.
Stuff about the character progression, perks, and whatnot. Why don't you tell us what
Yeah,
we're
we
about
you
to
know look through
Here we
the
go,
questions
here we go.
everybody has about the game. One of the big ones is how does the character system work? Given that it's an online multiplayer game, so we have a bunch of stuff to show you all in the game, how the character system works, and we'll go through and explain it. One of the things that we're doing, we showed a little bit of it at E3, the You Will Emerge videos from our friends at Vaultec.
Yep.
And so we've done these videos for several sections in the game, and we thought we would show you first here at QuakeCon the one that deals with perks. So you can roll it.
More details about perks. I do love the perk RPG leveling up system in Fallout. Okay. I love these cartoons too. They're so cute. Ooh, I want to be the zombie. Oh yeah,
Will
ninja.
emerge. Today's episode, Being a Better You.
Good golly.
In life, we must each deal with the hand we are dealt,
Why are you so sad?
performing our assigned role to the best of our capacity.
Yeah, that doesn't look like
But
fun.
after total atomic annihilation, you may find the hand you were dealt has been reshuffled.
Oh yeah.
Gone are the simple days of yesteryear. Now the common workman must also be a covert operative.
Oh.
Farmer, a master of the martial arts. The ice cream man, a nuclear physicist.
Oh, too many things. Heart attack.
How will you make sense of it all?
I don't know.
Simple. Turn to your official Vault-Tec training materials. With these powerful tools
Trading
in hand,
cards?
you'll learn to make the most of your natural abilities and better understand what makes you special. Use them to be the best you can be. Or someone even better. Your survival depends on it. With your future secure, share your newfound knowledge with others for great
Kill sloth
benefit.
thing. Oh, they all turned into barbarians.
Remember, there's power in diversity.
Why is that guy drinking on the side? Oh, Molotov incoming!
Sometimes who we are isn't a choice at all. In fact, at a particular point in your young life, you may notice that your body has begun going through certain unfamiliar changes. No, it's not puberty, it's mutation. Thanks to our
What?
old pal radiation, your DNA has become more interesting.
Oh, cool. I want to be a kangaroo
See
thing.
here? You've now gained the unique abilities of a marsupial in exchange for a mild neurological impairment.
What? Wait, how is this gonna
Now
work?
you've learned how to be a better you. you are completely prepared to achieve your full potential in the role of your choosing. As a hand-picked resident of Vault 76, it is your duty to carefully review your Vault Tech-provided films yearly to
this is
fully
cool.
prepare for the day
That's cool. I
when
want to know about.
you will emerge.
I want to know about this mutation thing. This mutation thing seems super, super cool. Please give us more details about how I'll be able to
Todd.
fly and nuke
That was a
everything
lot
with
of
my
fun.
fingers.
But I think we all have more questions now.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
We'll take a little bit of a deeper dive here, and there's a lot to go through, and we'll do our best to explain it. The video does a great job of selling the idea. You see parts of it. The mutation part is pretty fun. Your character can actually get mutated. But the perk system and how you develop your character, we've done a lot of interesting things there. But let's just jump right in and show you a little bit of the character creation when you first start. You wake up in the vault, it's Reclamation Day. We have a full, customize your character like we've had before. It's even better now. And
Lots of diversity there. That is very nice. Very nice.
let's go a little bit. You get to take your ID badge. We've added this photo mode in the game that's really, really cool.
Yes! I'm going to take all
The
sorts
photo
of
mode
pictures.
allows you to change your field of view, zoom in, zoom out. You'll see all the filters that are coming up. You can do this
Ooh,
both here when you
expressions.
take your badge. It's like a training tutorial for
they have a
it.
barb
And
face?
You can do it anytime you want out in the wild with your friends,
I
with
do that
dead
in every
enemies, with
picture.
live
Every
enemies.
selfie looks like this.
We have also added this to our load screen system. There's not a lot of loads in our game, but when you fast travel, there's a little one.
Ooh,
And
no
so any of
loads,
the
eh?
pictures you've taken there
It's online.
will pop up like a random deck along with our curated photos. We really, this came out of a game jam. We do these game jams in the middle of projects to see what new features we want to try to add in.
It's a nice
This was
idea.
one of our favorite ones.
Yeah, it turned out really, really great.
And fun for socially shareable stuff too, even
Exactly.
offline. You
Share it,
could
you
you
can
kind of.
with your friends.
Eh.
And so, again, you make your character as a whole host of it. You can take pictures where you want. You can also, anytime in the game, change how your character looks. Because you're going to play a character for a long time, and you can swap out, change your sex, anything, your hair, everything, just so that you don't feel like I don't like how I.
I don't
picked
need
in the
it.
very
Right.
first
I don't
second
need
what
that
look
to
like.
enjoy a game. I don't really care what I look like.
Really, really cool feature.
Not really.
Next, we have. We'll show you stepping out of the vault and the first level up, and kind of dig into that some.
Emerging? Are we going to emerge, Todd?
So if you hit level 2 when you step out, you kind of complete the initial vault thing. And the first thing you do when you level up is pick a special that you want to increase.
Intelligence.
If you played previous Fallouts, we have all the 7 specials. And after you pick
Luck
the
is
one you want
getting
to
0
increase,
for me.
you then pick a perk in that special. So here we're choosing Gladiator, which is a melee perk.
Oh, and each card has a rank
and
on
then
it.
that is a card. As you can see, the perk system, the perks are cards, and then you equip those.
You're just unlocking cards.
And every special is a pool of points for the cards you want to equip, and each card has,
a
I
points
don't want
cost.
to say mana cost.
Yeah, I
but
was
a
gonna say.
point
I was gonna say mana
for how
cost.
powerful that card is, and do you have the right special for equipping it?
Right. And is it flexible or am I jumping ahead? Do you have?
There's some more on that we can
Right.
get into and show you how flexible it is
This
and
makes
why
sense
we
to me.
made
This
some
seems
of the
very cool.
choices
I
that
like this.
We did. But let's keep going,
Okay.
and then we can spend some
I
time.
don't know.
and you'll
Like
see a more
the cards that
complete
you get, are those
character.
random? Are there extra rare ones?
Okay, this is a level up to level 4.
Okay, let's just look
So
at
we
the
picked some
environment.
more cards. But we wanted to show you how the cards themselves rank up.
Okay.
So you can pick that card again. So by picking Gladiator again, you can then combine that card with the other one to create a more powerful version, but
Picture
it
doesn't
costs
change.
more points. So
Right.
sometimes you may decide, well, I only want the 1-point version equipped for my character build versus the more powerful 2-point version because I'm using my strength stats in some other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that probably makes sense, yes.
Does it get rid of your
I
individual cards?
But there's more than 4 levels in the game.
Yes. The levels keep going up and up and up. We don't
Is there
want
a
to make
cap?
a game
Is there a
where
cap?
you have to
there a cap?
stop leveling. And
I'm hearing no cap.
we had to make some very interesting
going
decisions
on
of
here?
what that means for a multiplayer game for balance. So let's run the next one where we see it's a much higher level character.
Right.
I think it's in the 40s.
Okay.
So here we
Level
are.
cap,
You'll see a character
if there is
that's
one, 142.
much further along. Picking charisma. We can talk about charisma's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
charisma's not interesting.
Here's a perk that lets mutations
Intelligence.
act better with groups.
Woohoo! Oh, I want to be mutants with all of you! Ah! Never mind, I take this
And
back.
so
This is
you
cool.
can pick any perk that you meet the
They've got
requirements for when you level up. There's no randomness there. And here's what it looks
okay.
like with
No
a character
random.
that's further along. We've upped the cap for each special to 15 from 10. That allows better balance for which cards you're equipping. And the cards right now go from 1 point
Oh, goat legs.
up to 5 points in power. And then as you level up, more cards become available.
I've got a bunch of
Professional
questions
drinker.
about that, but I
Keep it
want.
on there.
Oh,
That one,
no?
dude.
Chat a little bit. Keep going.
Okay. But I wanted to ask about charisma. Should I
You will
ask that
never
later?
mutate
about
from rats.
We can talk about that now. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, how does charisma work in an online game? If we're not talking about NPCs that you can influence, what does charisma do for you?
And that was a very interesting discussion amongst the team to try to figure out what do we do with charisma. But it made sense in a multiplayer game that a player that invests points in charisma and collects those cards, they can share those cards with their teammates. So we've developed a system where that player that invests can become the person that makes your entire team more powerful by sharing those cards. We did throw a
They're
a
making
few cards in
charisma
there
not
for the single
useless.
player. I think we have one as Lone Wolf, as I recall.
Lone Wanderer.
Oh, Lone Wanderer,
Yep,
right.
yep.
So if you can still pick some charisma cards if you're more of a solo kind of player, but the person that plays in groups all the time will probably invest more there.
Cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. And you probably saw before, again, when you level up,
I never dump
you
any
get-
cards
these are
in
the
any
cards that
points in
come into
charisma.
the sets you can pick from when you're level 4 or 5, whatever. We also experimented with, well, how do we add some more fun to it and give you more choices? And so we have added, because they're cards, perk card packs. And every
Wait, do I have
few
to buy
levels,
these?
initially every 2 levels, you get a perk card pack, and that has 4 random cards. Again, you could have picked these, but it gives you some more interesting choice that you might not have picked to give you some flexibility in your character. And then later on, you get them every 5. But let's look at a perk card pack opening, because they're a ton
Yeah, I
of
want to
fun.
see this pack. It's good that he's not saying they're paid. We don't need no microtransactions. Ooh, is that a stick of
We
gum?
do have gold. That one's great. We have gold cards.
What's
that
a
animate. Of course,
shiny?
you get a joke and a stick of gum.
Nice.
And the gum, actually, for fun, is a very slight. It reduces your hunger for a while if you chew the gum.
Nice.
And so they're a ton of fun. When you hit that level and you're like, oh, it's level 6. All right, I get a pack. You
Yeah.
get to pick your regular perk and then also see like, okay, I got these other ones. Is there something I want to swap out? And that's something good to talk about.
I like
is,
this.
Is the swapping
Right.
Of the perks.
Right, because you mentioned that, the packs help you discover something you might not have known you wanted, but how flexible is the system, Jeff?
Sorry, Gary.
Go ahead.
You can swap out perks anytime.
Anytime.
Generally, again, to reiterate, when you level up, you pick a special. You get a point in that special, which is the pool of points that you can slot perks into. You also get to pick 1 perk per level. Generally, you'll pick the perk from the special you chose, but you can also pick other perks if you have available points. And then these are wild cards. So every 2 levels from level 1 to 10, and then every 5 levels after, you'll get one of those perk packs. And what they allow you to do is to experiment with some other builds and cards you might not normally have played. Remember, you do start with 1 point in each special, so you will have unused points from the beginning too, where you can try just slotting these in right off the bat. What we have found is that allows players to go, hey, what are these luck perks? And why do I really want to search containers for extra ammo? And as you play a survival
Don't
game,
need
you go,
luck.
wow, getting extra ammo in containers is really valuable. And those, remember, you can also share those perks. So if you have perks to share ammo and you share that on your team, every member of the team can then find more ammo in containers. And these all rank up. So eventually
Okay,
you're
that's
getting
kinda-
like huge bonuses in the amount of
That's
ammo.
kinda
or food you're
interesting. The
finding,
sharing
or
thing is gonna be kinda
carry
cool.
weight's a big deal in this game. A lot of interesting back and forth with developers.
I'm
on
gonna
how
be
much you can
over-encumbered.
carry or not. And you see those cards at first, you're like, well, that's not as cool as being able to do plus 20% damage with my pistol. But
Yep.
in a survival game, being able to carry more means you'll be able to carry more pistols. So, there's a lot of ways that
Shove 'em all
that
in your
interplay,
pockets,
and
guys. We'll
there's
be
so
able to
many
sell
cards,
them
you can
later.
hundreds, and you're able to really do these cool builds and swap things in and out. And then I'm on a team. I have a great perk for this team that I might not want to carry. Lone Wanderer is a perfect example of that. Lone Wanderer, as soon as I play that when I'm playing solo all the time, because it gives me a bonus to my experience and damage. And as soon as I get on a team, I turn that off because I'm on a team now. It doesn't work, and
I
I'll
like
equip a
those.
different card that I can share with my team.
It'll
So
be
when you
interesting to
say
think
bench,
about how
not
you're
really
dynamically
talking about,
swapping this based on like
sitting
where you
there
are in the world.
and having multiple kind
And
of
what you're trying to
decks.
get
You're
done.
talking about having more of a baseline and then making little changes here and there quickly and easily. Is that a kind of a correct way of putting it? Or?
Yeah, your character, you're still progressing the way you would expect in an RPG, and it's kind of growing and growing and growing. So it's kind of what Jeff was saying. You're swapping out a thing
Squeaky chair,
here or
squeaky
there.
chair.
The
Just
perk
for you,
packs
Jazzy.
can also sometimes give you a perk that is, we intentionally do this. You might get one or two that from a pack of cards that is a higher level than you are. So it's like a few levels in shooting distance. So you say like, oh, I didn't even know that was a perk. Maybe I want to pick agility on my next level up because the game has given me this other perk and I just want to try it out. The other thing is, this is the multiplayer part of it, that when you hit level 50, you don't get to pick any, you don't get to give out a special point anymore. So that doling out strength and all that stops
okay,
at level
that's
50,
kind of the
but you still get to pick
cap.
cards. So that gives us a continuing thing where, okay, I hit level 73, and I'm still like, you know what? I never got to pick that perk, because again, there's hundreds of them. I'll go pick that one. I want to try it out. So you're not, but we're still capping the, the power curve ramp that in our other games, like a Skyrim or a Fallout 4, just like your character keeps getting more and more and more and more powerful. And we knew we couldn't really have that.
50 is the level cap then. That's really what it is.
You talk about the discovery of perks,
then you can
too,
still
and how
get
you
more
might
abilities.
discover them in a card pack. You might see your friend using one that you never thought you'd use. Have any of you, in your own internal playtesting, found a perk that you never thought you would use that you're like, wow, this is really cool?
Nope.
All the time.
Any recent examples?
Well, I remember when I first started playing the game, I did exactly what Todd alluded to, or Jeff, where I've always picked the percent damage perk.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm thinking, okay, I just want to do more damage. As I played the game and discovered there's a lot of value in doing things like building up your camp, and doing a lot of exploration and gathering resources, I started to actually take perks I would have never picked in a single-player game to reduce the amount things weigh, so that I can actually carry more junk.
That is what I pick in every Fallout game. I want to pick up everything in the world, put it in my pockets.
Like if
You
I'm
never
playing
know
by
when you're gonna
myself
need
and doing
super
more
glue
exploration,
plus a
I
fire
tend to
hydrant.
use those kinds of perks. But if I play in a group, we typically have some objective in mind. It's something we want to go and kill, and then I might swap some of those out for the more traditional damage perks.
Yeah, Jeff, anything for you that emerged recently that you didn't think you would use, but now you're using?
I can't think of anything particular. I did get one of those weird mutations the other day, though.
Yeah, tell us more. Tell us
They're
more.
a lot of fun, too.
You didn't
So
talk to
I was
us
playing,
about that.
and all of a sudden, when you have a lot of rads is when you're susceptible to mutations, like in real life. And then I got a mutation called bird bone, but I didn't realize I'd gotten it, and all of a sudden I was over-equipped, which is always a frustrating experience in a game. And I'm like, why am I over-equipped? And I looked and I had this perk, and it let me jump extra high, but it lowered my strength. So again, like the way the dynamic systems work is incredible. And you can spend a lot of time in that perk menu, but remember, it is a live game, so make sure you're in a safe place.
And then I have
But you
another
could get
question. Who
sniped.
gets to write the jokes and the gum wrappers?
That is Emil Pagliarolo, or he does all of the jokes.
Master of the memes.
He's done that for us for a long
Yeah.
time. He wrote the arrow in the knee. That wasn't really a joke.
What?
Became a
Not at the
it became
time.
A joke. It wasn't a joke.
Not at the time.
That poor guy.
Yeah.
So Emil wrote all of those.
Good job, man.
So let's switch gears. I want to get to some of the questions that we've gathered up from the community. I'm going to call this the thunder round. Usually we do a lightning round, but we've got a half hour here. We're going to take our time. We're going to thunder through some really tough questions that we gathered up from the community.
Okay.
Let's start with the
Get some
big
good
one.
questions.
The beta. Now,
When will we
you
get
guys
it?
wanna play,
When
am I
will we
right?
get access? Who's going to get access? Whatever. Give us the
why
details.
can't you let them play any sooner,
I have pre-ordered.
Todd?
I am ready. I don't know if you guys are ready. I am ready. I hope my Comcast is ready.
There's a lot of chatter.
I'll pack up my stuff.
Look, we want everybody to play it as soon as possible. We're playing it now. There's a lot we have to do, right? There's things that we know we need to change and fix before we get it in everybody's hands.
Like
and
what?
The other thing is, even though people are going
Like
to start
what?
playing the beta in October, this is a game that we're going to be constantly updating. So everybody's feedback is really, really important to us. The beta for us, this is an all new thing, right? So we need to stress test a lot of systems, and we're.
You guys
that's
have
why we
Elder
called
Scrolls
it the
Online.
Break
This
It
is
Early
not
Test
totally new for you.
application, because it's going to break.
Oh, you're gonna break it.
We're pretty sure of that.
Yeah, you
And,
guys ship buggy
get ready.
everything.
And
Everything is buggy.
and so it's really we need to make sure we're ready for everybody comes in, it all crashes the first moment. See, I make it sound fun, right? It's gonna be really fun.
I mean, that sounds fun to me. I like breaking
And
stuff.
then, make
I
sure
can
we're ready
handle
to fix
that. That sounds
really, really
okay.
fast. And so that we're in a good loop of, hey, here are the issues. Let's fix them and get everybody else in the game as soon as possible.
I want to pick up on something you said, just to reinforce it. You mentioned that this is a live game. Of course, we're going to continue to work on it. Your feedback still matters. Because I know that was something that I think some of the community were concerned about. Yes, everybody wants to play it sooner than later. And
I was never
with you.
worried about it being a
but,
ship this game and drop it off.
You will continue to work on this game. and
Never-
you have
never
plans
worried
to
about
continue
that.
to work on this game and evolve it. It's not like it's finished and then you're going to take one little round of feedback. You have lots of thoughts and plans, and we don't want to get into the
Future
roadmap, but-
content packs.
Right. We do have kind of a roadmap in our heads, and this is a game that we think, with the community, is going to be a very different game a year after it's out, 2 years after it's out, 5 years after it's out.
Okay.
It's a game 10 years, 50 years.
They're
It's
They're
we
in
have
it
big
for the
plans
long
on
run.
What we can do with the game and with our community, and the beta is just really the first step.
The first step. The next big one, PvP. I think everybody is excited,
Nope.
anxious,
Nope.
concerned,
Yep.
highly
Yep.
anticipating,
Yep.
nervous. You've talked about it a little bit here and there, but
I'm
why don't you
nervous.
just take it from the top?
I
How
don't
does
want
it
another
work?
Fortnite.
What's the deal with griefing? How are we going to be able to enjoy our Fallout game? Or how am I going to be able to screw up somebody else's Fallout game and get away with it? Or any variation on that? I'll just leave it to you to...
This is why I don't go on Reddit.
That's right.
All right, we will do our best to sort of
I also do
explain
not go on
where we're
Reddit.
coming from with PvP.
The same reason.
We agree with those. Like, we have folks in the office, we have that debate, is it what is it? Where do we want the players kind of driving force? Is it a PvE world thing? Is it the other players? And for us, it is both. How can we do both? And
Good.
so the first
PvE
thing
is
we'd
what
say
I'm looking
is
forward to.
that we want this element of danger. It sounds weird to say, without griefing, which is like, okay, those things are often in conflict.
Yes.
So right now, and you've seen it in some of the E3 videos, when you shoot somebody, you do a little bit of damage. You don't do full damage. It's like an it's like slapping somebody in a bar. Like, you want to fight? And like, that's annoying. And eventually, you're like, yeah, I think we're gonna. And so you do little bits of damage. If you engage, then you're doing full damage. And there's a cap reward based on the player's level. So if the player's really high level, you're going to get more caps than if they're low level.
Okay.
If
That's kind of
you
cool.
want to, after each one of them dies, you can seek revenge, which doubles the incentive. So if a guy kills you, you're like, well, that was annoying. Then the game says, hey, if you want to seek revenge, I'm going to give you the double reward.
Ooh.
Okay, maybe I want to engage in that.
Hit list.
And that's really, really fun.
That is kind of cool. Oh, I like that.
The issue is when you don't want to engage in it, right? Someone's coming up to you and they're slapping you and slapping you and slapping you, and you're like, I really don't want to deal with this right now.
Please
we
go
have a lot
away.
of ways you can get away from them.
Build my
but
base.
We still like it where they do, if they keep going at it, they have the ability to kill you, which sounds terrible, right?
does.
To be like, why would you do that? We like to turn that into a dramatic moment. So the player that kills somebody that didn't want to engage in it, then becomes a wanted murderer.
Yeah,
They
do you
get
get
no
back karma?
reward.
Am I going to become a wanted murderer? Are you guys going to?
That's like the first applause of the panel.
Yeah. Wanted posters
So
everywhere.
there's no reward. You get no caps. You get no XP. You get nothing for becoming a wanted murderer,
You're just
except
a troll.
for the kind of social incentives people have online to be assholes.
Right.
Yep. Trolls. We
Which
call those
evidently
trolls.
There's quite a few. So what do we do with that? We turn the assholes into interesting content. So they appear on
This
your
is
map
genius.
as a red star. Everybody sees them, and they have a bounty on their head.
That's like
that-
GTA 5 wanted, GTA wanted levels. This is great. Oh, this is so cool. So
and that-
cool.
That bounty comes out of their own caps.
Woo!
And they can't see the other players. So on the map. And we did this. We had this idea, like let's turn it, like let's make them interesting content.
That was kind of cool.
And it is when this happens, when anybody murders somebody while we're playing in the office, everyone sees on the map, and it is like it's awesome. Like,
yeah, that's one of my favorite stories.
This
there.
sounds,
So the
this
other
sounds
day
like
we
fun.
had a big internal test, and we had played for hours. And towards the end of the test, I had leveled up. I had actually started early, and so I was higher level than a lot of the other people. And I saw that red star, and I was almost about to log off, and I was like, oh, now I'm going to get somebody. So I had built a sniper rifle, right? I found a hunting rifle on a super mutant, and I built a little scope, and I extended the barrel, and I was like, I finally get to use this. So I fast traveled near them. Now on the map, remember, you see where they are. It's not super up. It's a little relative, so it's not super pinpointy, but you'll know generally where they are. So I'm sneaking, because when you sneak in our game, your appearance on the map disappears, no matter what state you're in, except for wanted. So my pip doesn't appear, and I'm sneaking, and I see him in a building, and I see him moving around, and he comes wandering out, and I took his head off with my sniper rifle. And he drops down. I go running up. I loot his junk. I dance, took a picture over his corpse, and logged off.
Oh, yes! I like that. There's a dance button. Oh, yeah, we're going to get some barb dances in there.
So, what happens
So
when
good.
you die, though? What happens when someone kills you? Like, Chris, why don't you jump in? What?
Yeah,
Like,
do you lose all your stuff?
if somebody, if I decide
Do you lose
to
your
engage
progress?
or if
Do
I
you
don't
lose
engage, am
any of
I
your perks?
punished
Anything?
if I die, or there's got to be something.
Yeah, for a long time, we tried testing where there was no punishment at all. And that took all the sting out of death. People used it to their advantage to travel back to various points, and it didn't feel right. But we didn't want to make it too punitive, because we do expect people will die, and there's no save games like a single-player game.
I never
so
died.
what
I
happens
don't know
when you
what he's
die
talking
is you just drop your junk, and junk isn't worthless. You need junk to build
need
things
my
in your
junk!
camp, or to make better guns, or to make better armor. So what it does is it creates a loop where you go out and explore, you create some junk, and if you happen to die, that's all
what happens
you
in
drop.
Minecraft,
You don't
right?
lose
Yeah.
your awesome power armor or any of the guns that you've collected. But then you have to make a decision. Is like, was that enough junk that I need to go back
Is
and
there
get
enough
it?
junk in your
Or
trunk?
is that something
Do you
I
need
can
to
live
go
without?
find that junk and put it back in your trunk?
What people will do is they'll go back to their camp, and they'll put their junk back in their stash, which is safe. Nobody can take things out of each other's stashes. And we've also seeded the
Okay, that's
world with stashes as well. So if you know where some of the stashes are, it's always a safe place to store the junk that you've collected.
Cool.
So just enough so it'll sting,
A
but
little
not
bit of a
enough so
sting.
that it'll really
Okay, that's
deeply
cool.
hurt
And
yourself.
it's also a little
It's
bit of a
good
reward
to know that I
for if you
can
manage
like,
to
keep
kill
my stuff
somebody,
somewhere.
there's
I
usually
love
something
having
there.
a little random locker in
The
Fallout.
thing with junk is it's nothing that you can't just re-get by if you just keep playing. Like
Right.
that's that pile of it. But if you just start exploring, you'll collect more. So it's sort of like, well, that was sunk time.
It feels like
Do
a
I wanna go
very,
back and
very
get it? And
reasonable
it's-
punishment.
That happens on PvP. So if you do kill somebody, their junk drops and you get to pick it up. You get the caps from them.
Right.
You can take the junk, but yeah.
But it's just a little grindy time, and you got it back.
Yeah.
It's
the
just,
junk.
you know, we
Yeah, that
like it.
seems
We put
fine.
it in. It's
Yeah.
just
fine.
enough to make it where before you head into a dangerous area, before this, you would just run into a dangerous area. You don't really care. There's no penalty to death. It's like you just fast travel back. And then once we did that, it's like you just stop a little bit. Like, well, don't want to take a moment and like collect myself, store the junk before I head into danger.
If anyone remembers Fallout 4, screws are very valuable. So
Yeah.
if you've got screws
Dude.
in your junk, you want to
Dude.
store them.
Yeah. You
And
can't
how-
decide between like
Yeah.
this awesome-looking gun or a desk fan. They both have equal.
How
I did a
does
lot of
respawning
fan
work,
grinding.
by the
I
way?
did
If
fan and
if
screw
If
grinding.
you die in a dangerous area, but can you respawn anywhere? What goes on there?
Respawning always takes. You can respawn anywhere you've unlocked, just like Fallout 4. You can fast travel wherever you'd like.
Cool.
The closest point to you is free, and the entrance to Vault 76 is free. Beyond that, you have to pay caps based on how far away it is from you. So if you decide you want to take that opportunity to go way far to a corner of the map, you're going to pay a small caps cost.
I was thinking of the vault. Going back to
Yeah.
PvP, it
Okay.
doesn't kick in until level 5. So that gets people into the game a little bit and understanding.
Get you playing it for a little bit, get you, like, you got some loot and stuff.
Because otherwise, they'll just hang out everywhere. Because everyone comes out of the vault. So you would just like set up your camp and all the turrets. That happened for a while. You're like, I'm really excited. I got the game.
Remember, for people who have more questions on PvP and can already see some exploits that might not be fun, we do allow you to ignore and block players too. So
Okay,
you can
good.
actually, when
Moderation.
you die, or at any
Moderation's
time,
good.
honestly, but especially when you die, we have an option there for if you're just done with that, you can ignore them for that session. Then they can't see you on the map. They won't be able to still mess with you generally, unless
Okay.
unless they can find you. But this is a very big game. It's very hard to find people unless you know exactly where they are. You can fast travel away easily. We also are entering a
Okay.
pacifist flag, so your bullets won't do that slap to people. So you don't have to worry about, I'm fighting something, some idiot jumped in front of my bullets and tried to get me in PvP. We're
I like
we're
that.
allowing you to turn that off too.
I like that.
People
I like
are,
that a lot. I don't have to be
abusing
mean
that
to
in the
people
studio.
accidentally.
Yeah.
The pacifist flag.
Well, no, they would wait till you go shoot a creature, and they would jump in front of the bullet.
Right.
We had our
It's a troll for
QA team.
everything.
I asked the QA team, several hundred people, during one of our sessions to be the biggest assholes they can one session. We got a lot of good notes out of that. I think.
Oh, that sounds like that would be fun.
Yeah, they know how to play.
I do
It
have
does.
one more question about PvP, which is if you are a higher level character with higher level
Everything.
armor, higher level weaponry,
Yep.
how do I even have a chance? And I get the slap mechanic, but if I want to engage and I'm a lower level character, am I just going to get
Are you gonna have a
destroyed
chance?
instantly?
We struggled with that. So what we've done is there's two sort of power curves. You have the usual power curve against creatures in the world that you're used to
Yep.
in our games. And then, so if you take a power curve from like low damage to high damage, in PvP we normalize it, okay? So just a knife is gonna come up in damage and the really powerful things are gonna come down. So they feel right, but the death in PvP is quicker, and it works the same for armor. So if you play other multiplayer games, the guy in power armor with a minigun is obviously gonna be harder.
Right.
But if you get the drop on him with a knife,
Just
it does
slightly.
kind of work. And it makes it more fun without it being, well, I have no chance whatsoever. Again,
Kinda.
there's still a ramp there. It's just,
Right.
normalized.
Cool.
Okay. Okay.
Nukes.
And you get the caps, all right? So that's the other thing is,
Right.
why do I want to go try to kill a level 100 person in power armor with when I'm low level? Is that my reward is going to be way higher.
Excuse me.
If you need money, what do you need money for? That'll be a thing.
Nukes.
Like they haven't really talked about
Very
what do
cool.
we need caps for.
It's a little feature.
I love nukes. Nuke the world. We're gonna
But what
nuke the
happens when
heck
we're
out
nuked?
of
I mean,
West
we
Virginia.
know that things happen. We know that the area gets irradiated. Things are destroyed. There's higher level loot, higher level enemies.
Yes.
But let's say I have a camp in that area. What happens to my camp? How soon can I rebuild it? Chris, why don't you jump?
Yeah, well, first of all, nukes are very cool. All right, they're one of the coolest things that happen. in
Heck
the
yes,
game.
they are.
But we don't want it to be overly burdensome to a player to lose all their stuff. So that
All
we
their
don't.
junk.
When you nuke a camp, it does destroy the structures. But we've created something called a blueprint system, so that if you spend hours making a really cool house with lots of detail, you can blueprint that house. So it's very easy to replace it in the event
Just like
that it gets
copy and
destroyed
paste.
by a nuke. It also makes it very easy to move your camp. So even if we're not talking about destruction with nukes, if you decide you want to relocate your camp to a different part of the map, and you can pack it all up, and you can put it somewhere. And of course, the terrain is going to be different, but because you've blueprinted your house, then you can usually find a way to
All
jimmy
right,
it so that it
this,
looks good
I like
when you're
this.
replacing it.
Maybe we'll
So
do
it's
some
very
building.
easy to get back to where
Maybe
you
maybe
were.
we'll make some sweet
The
bases.
other thing with that is that the camp destruction part is really, it's easy to repair it if you want to leave it where it was, but we did the camp destruction exists. It's not really for like, hey, go blow someone's camp up.
Yeah.
We realized when we put it in that is a griefing mechanic, is like someone wanders by and then you build a camp and you like imprison them. Now they have no way to get out. So they need an ability to damage the
I did
walls
so much
just
of
to
that
get
in The
out
Sims.
of the prison you have built for them.
Right.
So it has less to do with, hey, we want other players to come and blow them up. The camp is also good for PvP, where someone engages with you and you lure them back to your camp. There's Ashley Chang in the studio. You can
Turrets.
build
Turrets.
musical instruments, and he built his camp, and he's sitting in the middle of a road playing a tuba. And some of his platforms are burp, 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 burp. And he had built all these turrets in the foliage you can't see. And everyone's just like, this guy in a tuba, like, and then the turrets go, and he's just like killing everybody. He's like, burp, 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 the whole time. It's awesome. I forget where I was headed with that. I don't know what the answer
They
is.
must have so many
the
stories
camp-
from
the camp
testing.
intersecting with PvP stuff.
Right.
And the other thing
Yeah.
with moving it around, that was key because the game's so big, you come out of the vault, and you find a place where you're like, this is where I'm going to build my camp.
This is going to be the
play, like,
best
4
place
miles,
ever.
like,
Look at
I
my
should-
view. Look at how
this view,
sweet
I
it
like this
is.
place better.
And then you find
So
somewhere
people tend
that's
to put their
going to
camp
be
down,
so much
and then
better,
as they
yeah.
progress through the map, they are finding new areas, and then they kind of settle in, like, okay, I really like this spot.
So you move through the
We're in a
world,
nest
you
somewhere.
meet friends, you're playing with others. How does communication work? Because I know that you've put a lot of thought into that, and that's
I
even
want
evolved
voice.
a lot
I want voice,
in
and I want it baked
recent
into the
days,
game.
Months, weeks.
It has. And this was in the E3 stuff where we had the emote wheel we have, where you can emote,
care.
and we have the,
Except
the
for the
Vault Boy
dance.
cartoon. It's really fun. We were big on communicating in a nice way with strangers. And we've had some successes there, but we have found that we weren't giving the other players, even if they were strangers, the ability to really be as interesting as we wanted. So now we're adding, we've had voice chat for your teammates, and now if you want to turn on your mic, we have voice chat for all of the strangers, which really lets them communicate, and it's a very, very different dynamic in the game.
Area-based, so people around you will hear
Yeah,
you
have you
talk.
played Halo?
And you can mute
Back in
that.
the day.
Any interesting chatter around the office in your own play tests?
Any what?
In your own play tests, any interesting
There's always
chatter?
interesting chatter, and there's always cool photos that people are putting up from photo mode. I mean, it's a really fun game to play with people. I remember it was just a few weeks ago, I got to a point that was really hard.
He's hyping it too
I
much.
waited till lunchtime and then gathered a bunch of people. It's like, hey, you need to come help me with this part. So get a bunch of people logged in at lunch, and then we go and kill the super mutants.
Cool. Let's talk about
Nuke the
VATS.
super mutants.
How exactly does VATS work? If it's an online game, it's more of a real time, everything's happening in real time. How does VATS work?
It's real time. We now, initially, you can't target body parts. That's a perk.
Okay.
Because it's real time, like getting all
Ooh.
the parts at first is kind of hard. So we did it where you get the whole body,
Okay.
you get the percentage based on your perception, and it's incredibly, incredibly useful.
'Cause
and
I
so
can't aim.
We did that, and it plays really, really well. So we're happy with it.
Yeah, it's not just useful to target and hit enemies, it's also to find them.
Yeah.
So you use that a lot to try to, I heard something shoot at me, where is it? Because obviously the game in certain areas is much more lush than our previous game, so things are
Yeah,
very
you're not
hidey.
going to be able to see anything in
You don't know
those,
what-
in
yeah.
those
I mean, the thing
forests.
I personally love about VATS, I'm not the most skilled twitchy player, so it allowed me to become
Same
a much
thing.
better player in a game like Fallout. I mean, is that something, so for those who want to engage in combat, does it still help them in the same way?
It does. Because it's based on your perception, and perception starts at 1 now.
Okay, now I'm gonna
it's
need to
not
put
as
some more points into
useful
perception.
out of the gate. But then the point is, if you invest, I'm a perception character, those percentages do cross a line where, oh my gosh, I'm definitely more accurate
Ooh.
using this than I am just doing it on my own. We
Excellent.
try to strike a good balance there.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
An easy question, I think we might have even mentioned it in the past, but who's doing the music for Fallout 76?
Enon Zur, who's done the music for our other games, he's amazing. The soundtrack
Yes.
is spectacular.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, what about licensed tunes? Give us some good licensed tunes.
And we have a lot of licensed music as well.
Oh,
we have
why,
more
thank you.
tracks than we've ever had in a Fallout game. So there are radio stations you can listen to. Something we've loved
Yes, I love
in the
radio
series,
stations.
and it's always fun to go through and say, like, okay, what are the classic tracks we want to have? And then there is an unbelievable amount of just bizarre old 40s music. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's some wacky stuff. It's great for Fallout. Sometimes it's like, hey, what's the mood of this song? And then other ones are, hey, this is the song that has, this kind of, the slant on the lyrics as it appears in Fallout when it's post-apocalyptic, make it really fun.
Oh, cool, cool.
We know Fallout 76 is an online come up a lot on places like Reddit. What about private servers?
Yes,
That is definitely
everybody's been
something
asking
that
for
we are
that.
doing. We're committed to it. Modding for us, it's not just having a private server, it's being able to mod it. So mods for us have really been, once our games come out, that's what our hardcore players play. And they're still playing, Skyrim and Fallout 4 are two of the still most popular games in the
Yeah.
world, and a lot of people are playing mods.
Yeah.
And so that is something that, given the online nature of it, is
Ignore that.
going to be very, very complicated, but we're committed to it, and we've been, starting to design what that system is going to look like. But it is
starting to design, which
it's
means
I
it
would say
will
it's a
take a
complicated
long
problem,
time to get out.
But one that we are 100% committed to.
It will take a
solve.
long time to get out. That's what I'm hearing. That is what I'm hearing there.
I think that wraps us up. I think we got through the
Is
questions
that
we
it?
had.
Give me
any last
more!
words for the audience about Fallout 76, what you're excited about, what you want people to experience?
I just can't wait to see all these people in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't wait to play with you guys.
We're all going to be playing on separate servers. There's only like 24 people per server. I'm not
I
going to
would
see
say really
any of
it's,
you.
seeing everybody here and what our fans have meant to us. This is part of our excitement. Whenever we do a game, we try to make the game that we would really want to go out and buy ourselves.
Cool.
And this one is very, very different
doing
for
that.
us.
You're building
We
the
know
wrong
it's
game.
different for our fans. But it's also the first game that we can really experience with them. And that part of it is really important
That's
to us.
kind of an interesting
and,
insight.
I don't think people really understand how
They could
exciting
hop into
that
any
is
server.
for everybody at all the
Or
studios.
like they could just hop online and
It's
be playing
exciting
with you.
for all of us. Thank you, Todd, Jeff, Chris. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Fallout
Thanks for the new
comes out-
footage, for the
Fallout
answers to the
comes
questions.
out November 14 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We'll be sharing a lot more information soon. Thank you, and a big round of applause for our panelists.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go. That's the end of this video. Like I said, it was a long video. Thank you so much. If you stuck around this far, thank you so much for watching this with me. I think I am more excited for 76 now thanks to this. The perks system with the different trading cards, those look like a ton of fun. Learning what they are doing with the PvP, where, hey, if I don't want to go and shoot anybody else, and you just want to come and grief me and be a pain, I am not necessarily going to get penalized. If I don't pick that fight back with you, I'm okay, and you're not really getting any bit of a benefit. Although, I'm kind of intrigued by this wanted level. That actually sounds like a lot of fun to be that wanted person, and you can even get into these scenarios with your friends where you're playing like a cat and mouse type of thing. Like, I'm gonna go hide and seek, and like you come find me because I'm all wanted and stuff, and I don't know, I think that would be cool. Those were cool things. Moving the bases around, we knew about that. We knew nukes would be fun, so I think those are kind of the highlights for me, is learning more about perks and learning more about the multiplayer systems itself. This feels more like something that I will be digging. If you've made it this far, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that notification bell, and please drop a comment down below. Let me know you made it to the end. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. What were your top takeaways? What are you getting excited about? We only have a couple more months. 3 months, 2, 3 months, 4 months until November 14th or the beta in October. So I will see you in Fallout 76.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than